Hello, hello, Rise and Thrivers. What's up? It is a brand new month. It is July 1st, 2024. We are in the seventh month. Can you believe this is the seventh month? And here we are, Rise and Thrive together. In case you don't know who we are a amazing, committed community out to empower and educate and equip you in having the results that you want for yourself in your life now through real talk, getting in action, and having the results that you want. Starting with us in this conversation and having many, many amazing guests on to support you along the way. You can also follow us on YouTube, Rise and Thrive Together, on our Facebook page, our business page, Rise and Thrive Together. And of course, we have an Instagram where we post up some really fun facts and keep you posted about this. We're both on, personally, the show is going live on my Facebook page and on Raquel's Facebook page and LinkedIn. That's my personal Facebook page as well. So super, super excited to be here. This is a new month. So reset and moving forward. And I am ready. I cannot wait to discuss what's happening. I'm going to have Raquel kick it off because we got a lot of stuff that's happening this month. So, sis, welcome. I haven't seen you. It's been a couple of weeks. So I wanted to say, missed you last week. And what's going on?
Hey, sis. Hey, Rise and Thrivers. Excited to be here. So listen, if you don't know about our 12 days of Christmas in July, I don't know where you've been. Okay? Get yourself together. However, we are doing a 12 days of Christmas in July giveaway. What does that mean? That means every day 12 days, the beginning, meaning today, it starts today. Join our Facebook group, Rise and Thrive Together Community. Join our private Facebook group because that is the only place you are able to take part in this 12 Days of Christmas in July giveaway. Okay. And daily for 12 days, we are going to be posting something that you need to do. And it's nothing outlandish. Today, what was today? Talking about yourself, talking to your future self?
Yes, it is. It was the big day was about asking, hey, if 5 years from now, what would you like to say to yourself?
Exactly. And that's it. You're writing it in the comments, you're posting it. The good thing is, tomorrow morning, I'll spin the wheel. Everybody that participated, spin the wheel, and a winner will be selected. Also, what'll be happening is we'll post day two. What's the question challenge, or not a dare? I don't want to say dare, but we'll be posting what it is that's for day two. And so every day for the next 12 days, or now 11 days, whatever, we'll be posting every day. And then the next day we'll draw the winner, and it'll be recorded, it'll be live. We'll do the little spinning wheel and the winner will be selected, and we'll get in touch with you and send you a prize. Okay? And the prizes are pretty awesome, pretty cool. And we hope that you join. And for nothing else other than to build community. Okay, that's what this is all about. We're building community and we're supporting each other. All right. Okay. So I have to do mine. I didn't do mine yet, but I do have until 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today to post what I will tell my future self. Okay. All right. So, yay, July. Here's what we're talking about in July. What are we talking about? Reclaiming your power. And how do we do that? Okay. But I'm excited to have this conversation because last month we talked about, are you in action or not in action? If you're not in action, why? What's going on? What happened? But this month, we're going to be talking about reclaiming your power because as we go through life, life happens. As they say, life is lifing. And sometimes we feel like we don't have the power, we're not in control. So let's figure out and work on how are we going to get that power back. Okay. I love this topic. I find it super interesting. And what we're looking for is you, our audience, our listening audience. Participate in the discussion. Okay, this is no longer just something where you're just sitting and listening. We want you to be active participants in this discussion. Right, sis?
Oh, I'm so excited because all of those who are listening, I am pasting in the comments ways that you can get online. Right there is a link that you can get online. For those of you who know me, I've got my phone right here. Feel free to text me and say, I want to come on because I'm going to give a shout out to our guest last week who took on that action, right? She was not in action and boom, right here, Joanna Trust saying that she's posting in the group right now. Thank you, Joanna, for taking on that question. I'm going to say as we're continuing this, reclaiming her power, Joanna, by just jumping in. I love it. So I'm going to even say something Raquel didn't say. She did say the only way that you can participate is in the private Facebook group, which is called Rise and Thrive Together Community. And I get that some people don't do Facebook. So we are also allowing you to participate on my LinkedIn page, Regina Rossi Lamothe. Okay. So you can find me on LinkedIn, Regina Rossi Lamothe. Follow me. That same exact question and challenge is there. So we'll be looking on that page and on the other page of our community. Joanna Trust, I'm going to show she is done with a check mark and a smiley face. Awesome. So this is great. Yeah, I'm really excited about this topic because reclaiming your power. I was thinking about this before we got on. Raquel and I haven't seen each other, in a couple of weeks, and she has company, so allowing her to be and doing her thing with her company and doing her thing. And I've been a busy week. I kind of thought about reclaiming your power when, like, tagging onto it, like expanding from being in action and not in action. I realized that when it's a twofold for me. If I'm in too much action all at
Mm.
once, right? And that sort of happens, right? That kind of gets in the way when I don't take time for myself and take that breath along the way. And I kind of don't utilize that space. Like before this show, I knew what I needed and I went for a swim, a 1 hour swim.
Wow.
I have things to do. I always have things to do. But I also knew it was super, super important that this brain and this body was like frenetic energy. And the only thing that was more important was for myself to kind of ground, balance, let go of this energy and do that. And with that, action became being in action, which reclaimed my power back. Because
Hmm.
prior to that, other days, I wouldn't do that. I would come home, I would have to rush, and I would choose to do some things that I needed to do for the show and do all these things. And it seems like I'm really busy and taking on a lot of things, but I'm not a happy camper inside. I feel it. I feel the stress. I feel like I'm rushing. I feel like I'm not present. Raquel has witnessed when I'm a little snappy and short, like when she's asking me a question, right? And I'm like, right? That to me was like thinking about last month's topic, being in action and too much action, and I lose my
Hmm.
power. So just wondering what you're thinking. Anybody else got thoughts on what I just said?
I'm interested in knowing what our listeners think about that when you're in too much action. And where does that leave you? And how does that leave? How do you feel when you're in too much action and not enough time just to kind of slow down and take a step back, right? Um, I think it's interesting. I think it's great that you took a swim
I
today.
love it.
That was just amazing. And for me, with this taking back your power, if if you're taking it back, that means somehow you relinquished it. Just
Mm,
me. And my thing is, you want to take back your power? Stop giving it away. I know
mm,
how that sounds, but for me, I'm pretty basic. I tell people I'm basic. I'm like, I'm basic. I'm pretty simple. And stop giving your power away. And the question becomes, who are you giving your power to and why? Because you're not you have the power. People think, I don't have any power. You do, because you gave it away. In order to give something away, that means I have to have it. So why are we giving our power to people or to things or whatever? I would say places, but does that really make sense? So if you want to reclaim your power, stop giving it away to people. Know that you have it. Some people don't think they have it and they've given it away, right? I don't know I have power. You do. Every single one of us does. But stop giving your power to people. What does that mean? What does that mean to you, sis? I'll throw it out to you and our audience as well.
I think Joanna's got the perfect answer right now. She says, too much hustle and not enough flow leads to short term wins, but long term loss. Woo, Joanna. Kudos for you for taking that 1 hour swim and reclaiming your power. I want to like sit with that for a second. Joanna, like if you want to jump on, we're inviting guests to come on for a couple of seconds. Feel free to text me and I'll send you the link. Too much hustle and not enough flow leads to short-term wins. I got that. But long-term loss. That just like, that was super hot. And I get it. Like for myself, thinking about this, yeah, those short-term wins, right? Those quick little check that off the box, check that off the box, check that off the box. But the long term of myself, which was happening, I shared with Raquel about, annoyance of my daughter. Like that's a long term loss because I can check off a box, but my daughter is in front of me for the rest of my life and for definitely the rest of today and tonight. So I love that, Joanna. I love that. So being able to take that time away and kind of like have that done. We got another beautiful guest, sis, who's got some beautiful thought on that. Let's see who we got. Miss Anita. Sometimes in the middle of what you're doing, you have to breathe and relax, and it's okay to go back to what you are doing. Nice.
That's definitely a way to reclaim your power. Sometimes you do have to step back. Let me go back to Joanna before I connect it to what my mom said. It's weird to call her by her first name unless I'm introducing her to someone. So world, meet my mom. Joanna said, let me see, too much hustle and not enough flow leads to short-term wins. I more have a question. Is there something wrong with short-term wins? Just a question, Joanna, if you can answer that. Short-term wins sometimes is the motivation that people need to keep going. But I get what you mean about hustle. But I pulled out the short-term wins because sometimes we're hustling and we think we're in action because we're doing everything. We're in every little nugget, every little corner. We're doing something, doing. And my thing is, does that mean you're in action and being productive?
I love that.
Because for me, I know when I was hustling, I was super unproductive, but I was moving. I was in action. Anybody looking would think, oh my gosh, she's like so busy getting stuff done. Wrong. No, I was getting nothing done other than wearing myself out, grinding myself down to the nub, and absolutely got nothing done. And yes, there may have been short-term wins. There were wins nonetheless, but I was missing the overall picture. Still celebrating my short-term wins. I don't want to make those less significant because they matter. However, did I have to hustle and grind, or could I have found a more constructive way of doing that? Because when I was hustling and grinding, I was wearing myself out mentally, physically, and emotionally, and not getting enough rest physically. Mentally, I was always just tired, and emotionally, I just had nothing to give to anybody. And one day I decided, hey, I'm done with everything that I was doing. I just stopped every single thing. I'm one of those people. It's not going to take too much for me to just end everything. And I had to. And life changed for me when I did that. Right? Now, with what my mom said about sometimes in the middle of what you're doing, you have to breathe and relax because we forget, especially if whatever it is that we're doing, that task becomes overwhelming. You don't have to go along with it because it's overwhelming. Sometimes you need to step back, breathe, and you may get a little more clarity when you do that. Sometimes you can't solve a problem when you're so wrapped up in it emotionally. You have to step back, reconvene, for lack of a better word,
I love it.
and then reassess what you're working on. I've since learned that. I didn't always know it. And there are
Yeah.
times when I'm going through and I'm doing, and then it's like, okay, Rack, you need to take a minute and breathe because you're not going anywhere. Even though I'm doing, I'm not going anywhere. It's like spinning your wheels get caught up in like snow and you're just going around and around and around, and you're not going anywhere. Sometimes that's me, right? And I have to step back and I've got to breathe, relax. Breathing is super important. We often forget that. I know the other day I was doing an exercise and the person looked at, oh, today, not the other day, and I wasn't even exercising, I was getting a massage, and she hit a pain point. And I stopped breathing, and she was like, I need you to breathe. And I was like, oh, I did stop doing that, didn't I? So it's important for us to just breathe through it. And I'm telling you, sometimes you just see something totally different when you step back. Okay,
Oh,
I
I
think
gotta jump
Joanna
in.
has something,
This is
right?
fun. This is super.
Joanna,
Oh,
what did she say? No, they're great, but don't always contribute to
to the
the
big
big
picture.
picture.
Yep.
Okay.
And then her
And she
next part.
also said, she furthered conversation, she said, balance, harmony, and sustainability are the goal for long-term health success. Yeah, we don't always hit, I know I don't always hit those. Sometimes I'm a little off balance. I'm like this. Then sometimes I'm not in harmony and it's not sustainable. And that's when you step back,
And
right?
that's when you
For
start
me,
reclaiming your power, right?
that's when it starts reclaiming my power. Because when I get off kilter, I'm like, all right, let's pull it back, dial it down, and let's reassess. Reclaiming my power. So thank you all for your participation and your insightful thoughts. Really and truly appreciate it. But sis, so what else can people do to reclaim their power? And what does that mean? What do we, when we say power? Let's back up for a second. When we say power, what do we mean?
Ooh, when we say, I feel like for myself, it's like, I don't even like the word power. It's like something about energetically for me. There's like this piece energetically for me that's off. When you say off kilter, like I know who I am, right? I know that overall, am I happy 24/7? No. But overall, like I'm a fun, like good person to be around. Basically, most things really do not annoy me. You know what I mean? Like I know where I'm not myself. Now that might be very general for people. Got to remember I'm a lifelong committed learner of personal growth and development. So I know myself. I energetically know, I can feel it. So for me, I get very like, I can feel it right here. It gets like heavy in my chest. For me, it's stress in my shoulders and in my lower back. Now, as a fitness instructor, it's like, oh, well, can't that be that? Mm-mm. I know it. I can feel it in a way energetically. Like I said, this frenetic energy, it's like lightning going through your body. It's like my face starts to feel hot. I start to stumble on my words. I talk really, really, really fast. I can't think of things. There's just so much overwhelming. That's like not in my power. I'm like grasping to like find the words. I'm all of those things. That's how I know it for myself when I'm off. And I wanted to go back to what you said about breathing, which I think is super, like it's a funny thing because we think we're breathing all the time. And yes, we are. But the importance of this, as I say this all the time in my classes, because I teach Zumba and I teach a lot of other fitness classes, and I know, Rock, you can relate to this. I constantly in the middle of the class will say, so breathe. And they start laughing. Especially in Zumba. Raquel's been taking Zumba down in Jersey, where she's at. It's like you're moving, you're grooving, you're dancing, you're in your head, maybe figuring out the moves. Maybe you're just like in your head doing your thing, but you don't realize 99% of the time you're like this. And I'm a breathe. So when we do in Zumba, whoop, whoop, or I'll tell you say, wepa, or all that, it's because I know that gives you an opportunity to open up your mouth. You have to use breath. And it's in all my other classes as well. I don't just teach that, like different toning, different classes, aqua. It's constantly ask them, big breath in, let it out. And they just laugh. It really is the most essential part, which is such a great reminder. It's like downloading for me right now of reclaiming my power. I just got it. Like I just got it right now. People tell me I talk too fast, right? People told me like slow down, you're a New Yorker.
New Yorkers do talk fast.
Yeah.
But we do everything fast. It's all good. You said something interesting. You said who you are at your core.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going back a little bit, and it's interesting because one of the things that I had to reclaim your power is to develop your core self. And who you are at your core. Develop that. Always be learning and growing. I'll tell you one time you'll stop learning and growing, right? Are y'all ready? This is like super, super, super important. It's so profound. You've got to listen. Y'all ready? Say ready in the chat. Type quickly because I'm ready to say it what it is. But the only time that you stop learning and growing is, ready? When you're dead.
I was like this. Oh, like this. You didn't see me. I'm like.
Exactly. When you're dead. But while you're here, you are always, always evolving. Allow yourself that opportunity to evolve and develop this core person. They say the core is what holds us all up. Anybody out there ever exercise in their entire life? Even once. And they tell you your core is what's holding you up. If you don't develop your core muscles, you're going to be like this. You're not going to be standing erect. It's going to be very difficult for you to do certain things if you don't develop your core. So why is it we work so hard to develop our core or stomach, right? Those core muscles, but we don't develop and work putting effort to develop our core self, who we are at our very core, because that's the person that we show to the public. That's the person that has power and can recognize when they've lost their power because they either gave it away or somehow it just dwindled away because they got caught up in the hustle. Let me use Joanna's word. You got caught up in the hustle and you've lost that. Right? So we need to continuously develop our core self. And whether that is taking a class, going back to school, getting a certification, it doesn't matter. We are always working on developing our core because who you are at your very core will always come out in public. So you want to get your power back, develop your core self. I know when Reg is snappy, I know that's not who she is at her core. See, so I can look beyond the snappiness because if I didn't, I wouldn't talk to her. I'd stop talking to her. I'd be like, I can't deal with that attitude. I don't have to deal with it. And anything else that I make up. But I know at her core, that is not who she is. And I've seen that core self. And I know she's constantly, like myself, developing that. And many of you are constantly developing your core. I didn't say changing it, developed. We're evolving, right? So let's think about that when we're talking about maintaining or regaining our power. Develop your core and never make. I told a group of kids this. I said, be unapologetically you. That doesn't mean don't apologize, but this is who I am. I am a person who is no nonsense, straightforward. I shoot from the hip. I care about people, and I may not show it the way others do. I am not others. I am me. And this is how I'm going to show it. And you just have to know who I am at my core. And if you don't, you will learn. But I'm one that's going to challenge you. And I challenge through asking questions. because it's in asking questions that I get answers. But that's who I am at my core. And I'm constantly working on it. Now, could I be a little softer with it? I could. That's not who I am at my core, though. You saw my whole face change. I'm like, I could. However, develop your core self. You want to take your power back? Develop your core self. First thing I said and we said was stop giving your power away. Some of us freely give it to people like, here, you can have it, Reg, because I don't know what to do with my power. Take that back. Stop giving it away to people. Develop your core self, and that's going to help you to reclaim your power. Now, we got
Colleen,
some
yeah,
comments.
Colleen's got one in here because this is like a conversation. Because once Raquel gets on her roll, we got to give it to her.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize. Hey,
No, I said not.
so she goes, I'm like Regina. I get annoyed and mad at little things all the time. Trust me, Colleen. You know me for a long time. Been there, done that. And I lose focus and give my power to anger.
Mm.
And I feel at the end of the day, so much power was wasted. Suggestions on how to grow more patient so I can reclaim my power.
Oh, I love that. Anger. You just did. You don't need our suggestions. You just answered that question for yourself when you said, I give my power to anger. So you know where you give it. And you said and I feel at the end of the day, so much power was wasted. So a suggestion on how to grow more patience, just grow it. Just be more patient because you know what it's like. Sis, did you want to answer before I continue?
No, go. She's on a roll. I'll get there.
Because you know what it's like and how exhausting and draining it is to give your power to anger. You are physically, mentally, and emotionally exhausted when you do that. And you accomplish nothing other than being tired. So you already know that. The suggestion is recognize it a little bit quicker.
Yep.
Notice when I'm angry and I'm like, because you can tell when your shoulders are up by your ears or your nose, right? Just step back, let the shoulders down, and breathe. Because whatever it is that you're angry about, you cannot solve it in any way in that state that you're in of anger, right? You do have to step back and breathe. We're going to talk about breathing so much because it is super important. But you
Yep.
know you've given your power to anger. Is it worth it? What you were angry about or who you were angry at, whatever the situation is, was it really worth it? Anger is going to rob you and steal from you and take away. You know this because you said it. It's just a matter of being aware and recognizing it and taking hold and stopping. It's like thought stopping in psychology. When you have this thought that's negative and not serving you, we say, just stop the thought, but replace it with something else. Because if you don't do the replacing, then that can easily slip back in. So, Colleen, you already know what to do because you know it's anger. Take a step back, breathe, and release. Go, sis.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful. The first thing I was saying is I've known Colleen for a really long time, and self-awareness, right? This is, I wish we can give you an answer, Colleen. Quick fix, right? Quick fix. Thanks, Joey, for the love. But it is a committed, consistent work to be done. And so you already have that. The biggest piece that you already got that most people never get to is like, where is this from? She's like, boom, it is about my anger. So I get annoyed at little things. I went through this. I myself, and this is myself, when I was in that space where I knew, because here's the thing, knowing doesn't make a difference, people. Knowing is the beginning. It's the step of like, okay, and then there's the rest of those steps to take. Because how many people say, I want to lose weight, and we all know what to do, and then we don't do it anyway, right? Or we do part of it and not that. So self-awareness, kudos, man. Love you for that. And then there's the rest of that work. For myself, I do not do things on my own. For myself, I've went and do courses, and I've had coaches, and I've had mentors, and I've done personal growth and development work, everywhere and anywhere you can think of. And I still do that to this day. And I surround myself in community with that. Hence, here's the show, literally right here, keeps me grounded, balanced, and who I am. So if that's something that you are like, like I need some support in about patience and anger management and all that, there's tons of support out there, from paid to free. There's one beautiful thing. I saw Joey Lewis there for a second. You know, he's somebody who I know really well. Like, there, social media is here, people. There is kind of no excuses. I'm feeling like Raquel Power right now. There's no excuses. There's podcasts, there's books, there's YouTube. Like, there's so much out there, and it's a commitment.
Mm.
It's a commitment. So we're always here. We both are coaches. We offer all of that. And there's plenty to get yourself started with out there to say, I'm looking for support in, you know, X, Y, and Z. And you go and try out things and feel things out. Maybe there's a great podcast to listen to. Maybe there's a great YouTube. You guys are on here. I know this one. But it's deeper than we're giving you, right? Like the scratching surfaces, like all of that other stuff, right? This is an opportunity to connect and have conversations for you guys to kind of go, I got educated in something. I'm interested in how I can get equipped into that, like a little bit deeper. So where do I go next for resources, right? And we're out to empower you to say, hey, this is what I want in my life. So great job, Colleen. Great job. You know,
Absolutely.
I'm so happy. And yeah,
Now, let me say this. Now, Regina doesn't know what I have listed as far as reclaiming your power, right? But she said getting community, that was my number 3.
I'm
The
like rocking it
power,
today. Whoop,
the
whoop.
power of community. Connect with your community. You don't have to do this alone. Too many of us try, and it's easier when you're in community and you have other people and you have folks supporting you. So absolutely, community is a big thing to reclaiming your power. Okay. And
Well, we got
Colleen is
it,
so funny. She
guys.
said my jaw clenches when I'm angry. So she
Oh, Sharon?
recognizes the sign. Um. Oh, Sharon. Sorry,
Yeah. I was
I'm
going
so
to say, I
busy
think
with
it was Sharon.
Colleen.
Yeah, yeah.
Sharon says her whole jaw when she clenches her whole jaw. So you know when you're angry, the question becomes, what are you going to do? Are you going to call a friend? Are you going to call a lifeline? Or are you going to just stay there and be angry and be drained and just have that anger and then you lash out at people who did nothing to you? I don't know. Answer that question. Um, Sharon's laughing.
I
It's too
just didn't
funny.
want to laugh out loud.
But we have gone a little bit over time. We've
We
given you
can have
3.
whatever time we want. It's our
Oh,
show.
oh, yes, but I was given firm instructions. So let me total disclosure here, guys. I injured myself last week working out. I strained my pec muscle, and it's been giving me the business since last week. We all know what it means giving me the business. It's been hurting. Okay. It just sounds more colorful with giving me the business. Since last week. Today, my friend and I, we went for a massage, and my masseuse gave me some suggestions, and that is to take the week off from any strenuous activities like I do. I can go in with my exercise and to soak and to do what? Something we all talk about all the time, self care. Otherwise, this pain will continue and it'll take longer to heal. Now, I don't want it longer to heal because next week I start a 28-day challenge at the kickboxing studio. So I need this to get right. I need this to fall in line and listen to what I'm doing. And in that case, I have to do what I need to, and I have to engage in self-care.
All
So when
right.
I
Now
say,
let's
oh
hear
my
it.
gosh, we've gone over time, it's only because sister needs to go soak in some Epsom salts, like my masseuse suggested. And it is about self-care. And it's funny, let me tell y'all this. I said that last week to myself and probably somebody else. I'm always running my mouth, so I don't know who I was talking to. And I was like, I have to do more self-care. I do more. That means I do some. I just felt like it was not enough and I need to kick it up a notch. This is now making me kick it up a notch. And I don't want you guys to come to that where you have to, right? We should be doing
Oh,
this self-care, and it should be a routine that we get into.
it's so beautiful because that is like my total commitment, guys. Anybody who knows me, putting yourself first, that is it. Because if you don't, trust me, the universe, for Raquel and I, God knows that God will do what needs to be done for that to happen. All right, so we're going to rock this out by giving my sis a moment and be able to share with you that we are really excited to have a special guest next week. We are excited to have Dr. Shanique Carmichael from Leah's Hopes and Dreams on. She was on last year on our show. Can you believe it already? Like last year. And what makes this so special, she's going to be coming with also Patricia Barrett, right?
Yes,
Did I say
ma'am.
that right? Yep. And she's from the Parsons and Rutland Ministry.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, and it is super exciting because Dr. Shanique Carmichael will be talking about reclaiming her power, reminding us what Leah's hopes and dreams is up to. And we are 1 month away from our amazing, and I can't even begin to stop saying amazing. Um, First mission of service. For me, this is my first full mission of service for 1 week with Lee's Hopes and Dreams and Parsons and Rutland's mission. You know, they're doing the medical mission. So we are going to be off to the Exuma Bahamas. And we have so much to talk to you guys about that, where you can have an opportunity to join us in person or a way that you can still contribute to make a difference for people there. We've got a summit. We've got so much going on. So please make sure that you tune in next week because it is going to be amazing. I'm
As it
so
always is when Dr. Carmichael comes on, and Miss Pat. We recently met Miss Pat, and I saw her, and I had the amazing opportunity to serve with both of them as we were serving homeless individuals in North Carolina. I was there 2 weeks ago. Called up Shanique, Dr. Carmichael, and she was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I was like, "Ah, nothing." She's like, "Come help us serve," and I was like, "Okay." And guess what? I was there. I showed up. I served. Had a great time. It was amazing. These two ladies are doing some amazing work that they are led to do, and we are just so honored. And just so that you guys know, sis, your topic that you're speaking on at this summit is
entrepreneurship.
okay, and I'm speaking on
I think you're our motivational speaker. I'm like, she's like,
I'm
I,
speaking on motivation and empowerment, which is going to be hilarious. um, and we just want to be open with you and let you guys know what we're up to, and we'll start sharing things that we're doing, just to keep you guys in the fold, and we're going to share it in our community. So haha, join our Facebook community, Rise and Thrive Together community, in order to know what we're doing, where we are, and what we're up to. And we're hoping that not just we would share, but we want you to share with us. We definitely want to celebrate your wins, like we're celebrating Regina LaFrance and her wins. She's taking her book. She's doing book tours. She also will be a part of that summit. She'll be a speaker at the summit. So it is truly incredible. Guys, we want to support you. Please don't feel like you're in this alone. You're not. We're a community. So share your wins. And if you think, no, it's too small, it's not. It's a win. And we're going to celebrate it with you. Okay? Can we do that?
yes.
Yes. If you
Before she
have
does,
not taken part yet in the 12, sorry sis, the 12 days of Christmas for today, you have until 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to take part. And then tomorrow, I'll be doing a live and spinning the wheel and selecting our first winner to get a prize. What are we going to say, sis? Sorry.
I was going to say that. I'm like, this is it. Here's the question. Ready? What do you, if you had an opportunity to say something to yourself 5 years, your future self 5 years from now, what do you want to tell yourself? So, again, two ways you can do it. Rise and Thrive Together community, post that answer there, or on my LinkedIn at Regina Rossi Lamothe, post your answer there. We have extraordinary prizes, guys. Many of them are from the guests who have been on here throughout the year and other amazing entrepreneurial people who have do extraordinary things who are huge supporters here. So thank you, Joanna, for loving the service that we're doing with Dr. Shanique Carmichael. We love that you're a huge supporter as well and look forward to many things doing with you. So I love it, guys. Let's do it. I feel so like my power is like in balance just by being here. So
Mhm.
Colleen, just by showing up and speaking to you and speaking to everyone else, that just hit me. Pick up the phone, text somebody. Like for me, it's like get into action. Tell me self 5 years from now. Yeah, Joey, what do you want to say to yourself? Your future self 5 years from now. Write yourself a little note. What do you want to say? Joey Lewis, 5 years from now, what do you want to say to yourself? I did a live video. Rock is going to do hers so that she, can get into the bath and get to sleep. And we look forward to like having fun because I got to say, I'll be honest, tomorrow's prize is pretty awesome.
For the first prize is
Day
awesome.
one. Day one is pretty freaking awesome.
I love
and I'll
it.
just throw the hint of like
No hints.
none. That's it. I'll throw the hint of no hints.
Yes, no hint, no hint, no hint. Take
But
part.
it is
Guys,
pretty.
we really and truly, ladies and gentlemen, let me say that. We really and truly do appreciate you tuning in, whether it's every week, whenever you can. Doesn't matter. We appreciate you for who you are. We really and truly want you to know that we are your support system. We are here. If you don't have one, if you have one and you want extras, we're here. We're here. We're here. And as always, we truly appreciate you. And remember, together we can rise and thrive. Till next time.
With peace, love, unity, and compassion. Time to bust this out and start this powerful reaction.